Welcome back to Real Estate 101, where today we're going to continue our discussion on home staging and talk a little bit about basements. And I'm pleased to be joined once again by Michelle Finnamore of Michelle Finnamore Interiors. Michelle, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay, Michelle, so I want to start today's show and ask you, most people use their basements as storage, but a basement could be a great selling feature when selling the home. Do you have any suggestions in mind?
The first one we do is help the homeowner identify what is staying. It's much more positive spin on saying, can we get rid of all your junk, or can we declutter, can we do this? They actually need to really think about what they are keeping, and then I know what I can use to stage with to create a useful space down there for buyers to think that there's more value down there than leaving it just stacked with boxes.
Okay, and how does that work?
Well, the first thing we do, we look for if they have exercise equipment, if they have any craft supplies, do they have a play area for the children, do they have a media center, do they have something where even just their teenage boys are gaming, it's just a chair on the floor, a couple chairs and a TV, and that's how we put together different rooms in the basement. Even when there's no walls, we can actually create different types of uses for the basement, and the buyer can see how they would possibly use that basement in that home.
Okay, so why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the more interesting rooms you've created in basements?
Yeah, we have a lot of fun creating rooms in basements. The best one I ever did was the homeowners already had little 15-inch high hockey board walls built already for the kids to play down there, but they hadn't done anything else with it. It was painted red. They had a sweater in each end, their favorite teams. So what I did was I brought my painter in, and she actually painted hockey ice rink on the floor. Yeah, it was really cool. So basically, with the kids, when they came in with the buyers, they would be quite excited and say to their parents, okay, Mom, Dad, you know, we have to move and I have to leave my school and my friends. I'd really, really like to live in this house because they have their own hockey ice rink in the basement. And of course, they'd be the coolest house in the neighborhood, so who wouldn't want to live there? So that's what we do, that we create little interesting areas like that. That wasn't the whole basement, that was only maybe 25% of that particular house in the basement, but definitely created the impact we were looking for.
And what did the agent think about that when they saw it?
I know, that was the first thing that the homeowner asked, well, how is this going to work? Because what if they don't have hockey playing family? What if they have girls? And I said, well, in your area where this particular home was located was a big hockey town. It was out in the country. Every kid played on a league, even the girls. They really are right into the hockey out there. So I knew it would be a huge selling feature. And sure enough, like typically country properties out there could take a year and a half to sell. And it sold in 6 weeks. So we definitely had an impact on the market there.
With the work you did.
Buyers. Yeah.
And do you have any other favorite rooms that you like to create?
We typically do create some sort of exercise area. If they have a Pilates ball and a yoga mat and a little small hand weight set, we'll use those and create a little yoga center. I have a particular piece of artwork I hang on the wall, so it makes it look very spa-like, even though there's no drywall on the walls. There might be pink insulation in the basement, but we actually make it look pretty good. Other than that, we create a kids' play zone, definitely using some of the toys, not all of them. Most children have a large number of toys, so we try and keep it down to a minimum. And other than that, we create craft supply areas. We really like to show that there's some place for the people to do crafts, whether it's scrapbooking or whether it's any type of Lego that the kids might be doing. Right now, Lego is huge, so if they do have Lego or a train set, we do set it up.
Okay, Michelle, so when sellers have a bunch of boxes crammed everywhere, how do you handle that?
Well, the first thing we do is we try and get them moved out to a pod off-site or into a storage unit. We don't really want to have all those boxes there. We want to sell the space. That's why people are moving. They need more space. One of the favorite things I do is I take the boxes out from below a stairwell, and I use that as my Harry Potter room. I actually put up a couple Harry Potter posters, I put a couple pillows, I put the candlestick with the candle, throw a couple Harry Potter books in there, and any kid that sees that, they love it. I'll tell you, it sells the house every time, because what other house has a Harry Potter room?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's that little tiny little space just below the stairwell in the basement. So that's how we do it. I've done it in the eaves too, when you have a bungalow and it has eaves that you can open up a door for storage and people stuff all kinds of things in there. I'll actually do it out there too.
So I've heard that you create the rooms that Oprah Winfrey says every woman should have.
That's right, we do. We create a gift wrapping room. Oprah Winfrey says that every woman should have a gift wrapping station. You have to do so much of it in a year. So that's what I do. It's a very inexpensive thing to create in a basement. Typically that's where I'm putting it. And all we do is we put cup hooks on the wall. We take your gift wrapping paper and put it on a dowel onto those cup hooks. We hang up a couple bags with the ribbon in it and the bows. And I'll find some sort of a table in the basement that we can use, or maybe it'll be pulled out of a room from upstairs. You just need a simple folding table really, and a chair, and that's it. You've got your gift wrapping center, and every woman that sees it loves it because she goes, oh, this is like going to make my whole day easier. And even though it only costs maybe $10 to create, it's what exactly makes their day easier.
Okay, Michelle, so for today's final question, I've seen a lot of staging jobs that are very overdone. How is your work different?
We see that too, where tables will be set with dishes and glasses and silverware and food and all types of things. We don't. We keep it very simple, makes it effective. People actually see the features and focal points in a room, and that's why we always like to say our staging is definitely always less than the first price reduction. It does bring value to the table when you're selling.
So there you have it. If you're about to sell your home and your basement is a disaster, call Michelle Finnamore, the go-to girl of home staging. Join us next month when we're going to talk a little bit about commercial staging. I'm your host, Joe Tricera. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.